Here's an update on the car. So the engine's in and it is running. I got the harness from iWire, and it's really legit. Everything just plugs right in. The only thing is I don't know where to put this because the turbo's right there and I don't want the heat coming up, and I just need to get my heat shield. But when I bought this engine it didn't come with the heat shield, so I definitely need to get one of those just to protect this harness, because this is the main harness. Everything CC, everything plugs in. Ran it, used a couple zip ties, but all in all it plugged right in. And I do need to get the bracket for the boost solenoid. As far as this side, I ran it through the fender. You can't even tell because it's behind the fuse box, but it runs out there. And I used the bracket down there and it bolts right to the fender right there, so you can use the factory little holder right there, which is awesome because then it runs right to the engine. But yeah, like I said, the car is running. I've been driving it, but I've been having just a bunch of issues, just little things I need to fix. Like, for one, the steering rack, when I did the interior, I messed up the bushing down there where it runs through the firewall, so my steering wheel was really wobbly and the bushing wasn't connected, so I just undid the steering rack to get the bushing back in, which was kind of a pain, but it's done. What else? Oh, the radiator is the big thing I've been having problems with. So here is the factory RS radiator, and what most people do is they gut the cap, so you can run the line from the reservoir into here, so it just dumps into the radiator, but the cap was just leaking like crazy. So then next thing I did was, I saw someone did this online. They just drill a hole and you screw a little piece into the side of it, which also leaked really bad, so that failed. So my next idea, which is what I should have done from the beginning, is I had a Megan racing radiator from when I bought the WRX, and this thing's pretty fat, so I couldn't run it with the stock fan, so I bought some Mishimoto 12-inch slim fans, and they seem to be perfect. I just zip tied them on. They're really light, very slim, which is awesome, and they're 2-plug, and I just cut the plugs off the original fans, so I just need to solder these on, and that should be good to go. So the reason why I'm doing all that is just so I can run this tube into the radiator, and that will solve a lot of problems. Right now I just have a generic little bottle, but I ordered a JDM coolant reservoir, which actually goes into the fender, which is awesome. So that's on the way. And then I got a new radiator hose that I had to cut to make it fit. It's still really close, but I'm gonna make a little bracket and then zip tie it closer so it's more like that. You can see I was just gonna put a little bend in it like that, so it's just a little peace of mind from getting it away from the belt. But all in all, like I said, the car is running. I've been driving it around, but I can't go very far because the coolant leak was pretty bad. So the next thing I'm doing is I got a boost gauge that I'm running. So there's a tube, goes to the firewall. Gonna hook up that today. And so yeah, next step is getting this radiator in, and then I'm just fixing a lot of little problems I had with the car. Just, I mean, it's what is expected with the swap. I mean, it's not just gonna bolt right in and have zero problems. I figured I'd run into a couple of things. And another thing is this for the power steering little tank. I don't know where to mount it. I have no idea. I don't know if it mounts up over here or not, but I just been letting it sit there, so I need to figure out something to do with that. But other than that, it's been pretty good. I got the interior mostly in. I'm still troubleshooting a couple things. I do have an aftermarket alarm on this car and keyless entry, so when I sent the harness to iWire, I had to solder in a couple more wires for the alarm system, which is right here. So I finally got that figured out because it was giving me some issues. Got all that in, and then I just got to tidy up all this, and then I'm going to clean the interior really well before I put it back together, but everything works like it should now. So the next video I'll make of this car is I'll have it all together, and I'll go and drive it. I'm still braking in the clutch because it's a brand new clutch, so I still have to put, you know, a couple 100 miles on that clutch to break it in. So that's going to be the next process. But like I said, next video I'll make, I'll have it up and running, and kind of go through the issues as far as if the radiator fixed the coolant link or not. So that'll be the next video.